So, welcome folks, and it's me, Vibes. I know it's been long video, but with no further ado, on today's video, I'll be explaining some certain things and some certain setups that I used and how to actually use them, just like the fair value gap, order block, POI, breaker block, liquidity, and so many others that we intend to find in today's market. So I'll only be explaining on two markets only. I would love to explain more on a few other markets that I traded on, how it went, but I don't want the video to be too long, so that also it won't be hard for you guys to understand. Are you with me? So I'll only be explaining for two pairs, which is the AUD and the GBP So with no further ado, let's dive straight into the video. So as we all can see, this is the AUD known as the Australia versus the US dollars. As Australian dollars versus the US dollars, as you can see here, Australian dollar versus the US dollars. So now we are on the daily time frame, 1 day, and we'll also be explaining daily bars because few number of people don't really understand. Few number of people actually understand daily bars, while the rest don't really understand what daily bars simply means. But worry less, because I'll be explaining a little bit, not too much, because I don't want the video to be too long. I might do part 1 and part 2 depending on the time I might lapse on this video. So this is our liquidity, or our sell side liquidity, which is also known as the swing low. This is also a swing high, but has been swept out. Are you with me? Creating a new high. So this swing low that is known as the sell side liquidity can also be identified as a POI. Do you understand? It can also be identified as a POI. Because you notice the market trading under or inside the POI are actually like flexing with it. So like playing with it or playing around it or playing inside it. Do you understand? They're finding it difficult to actually break past that POI and the swing low. So let's take this off. So let's dive straight into our main setups and explanation. So as you can see on the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame we have candles, and all these candles are not just candles, right? All these candles are candles that happen within a day, which means if you look at this, this is a candlestick, a candle that actually happened on Thursday, 21st August 2025. The next day, Friday, 22nd August 2025. So now this candle right here is actually a candle that happened during the whole day. And looking at it down, you notice there's a low, and this is the high of that candle. There was a trend, that's a sell side trend, a downside, a downtrend that was happening and got stopped due to the POI. That's it. And we can also see there was another block here that the market was respecting. Let's do that. No? And you just have to pay attention to your trades, to your charts, and what you're doing. Let's change that color to orange. Notice beautiful respect, This is what you more likely call probably a breaker, OB minus, or whatever the traders will really want to call it out there. I don't care. For me, I'll still call it my same old order block because the market reacted to it and respected it. So let's take this out. So this Thursday's candle that happened, and Friday candle, and Monday candle, three candles form what we call fair value gap. So looking at this is the Thursday's high, which I outlined, and this is the Monday's low, which I also outlined. And this is the Friday full body candle that took this high out, took this Wednesday high out, also trying to take this Tuesday high out. But it took the Tuesday high out with a week, giving sellers a short opportunity, a very slim opportunity to enter for God knows how long. That's short sell from a Monday street. Do you understand? So these three candles created what we call the fair value gap. Let me type that out. Created what we call fair value gap. Thank you, sitting right there. And you notice the market reacted to it respectfully. Now you guys will be wondering, that easy? Well, it's not really that easy to look at because we need to go back to our lower time frame, like the 4 hour time frame and the 1 hour time frame. And of course you can choose to go to your 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever time frame you feel like going to on the lower time frame. Do you understand? Because this Thursday's candle, if we should go back to, or if we should go down to our 4 hours time frame, we'll notice that this one candle created four candles, or six or five on the 4 hours time frame. Let's check that out. So let's Thursday started from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Before we enter Friday, this was the Friday's candle. Watch closely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you understand? So that's for the daily candle. I'm not really trying to explain, okay, this is how candles work. I'm just trying to explain what you should be watching out in the market, how you should use your fair value gap, how you should spot your order block, and how you should actually trade some pairs. I'm more I'll more likely call it a backtesting video because it is a backtesting video. You're already on the next day, which is Friday, as you can see. Friday, September 9th, 19th, 2025, and we have our other candle created. This was Thursday's candle. Friday's candle has been opened. You understand? So I don't even have to use time. The time zone I do use is the New York, based on the fact that my mentor, the one on one I learn most of my things from ICT himself, so we should change our time zones to New York session, New York time zone rather, and that's what I did. So fair value gap seen, market tap right into it, gave us a bullish move going to the upside. Now market saw this OB around here, tried to respect it, but not for long. Respected it, but not for long. due to the fact that there is another order block sitting right here. In fact, three for that matter. One, two, one, two. Order block sitting right here. And guess what? The market tap right into it. Let's draw that down. Tap right into it. It's full gratitude and full respect before going to the uptrend. You notice? After respecting this one, came back down, tap right into it, gave few reactions before going back to the bullish move. Do you understand? So the daily time frame is more like, let's just say, let's just try to call it Big Daddy. But it's not only the Big Daddy, because we have the weekly, we have the monthly, and I guess we also have the yearly performance. Do you understand? Now, the daily time frame is more likely to be respected than the lower time frames. The higher time frames are the bigger boss to the lower time frames. Same with the 4 hours. The 4 hours time frame is more respected on the 1 hour time frame, which means the 1 hour time frame must actually respect the 4 hours and must also respect the daily. Same with the 4 hours. The 4 hours must always respect the daily and the weekly. Same way it goes. 45 minutes must respect the 1 hour. 15 minutes must respect the 45 minutes. So the bigger the time frame, the larger the respect. Do you understand me? So now on our daily time frame, after marking out our fair value gap, market rallied up, respected the OB sitting right here, came back down, respected this other block right here, and boom, straight back up. Now let me take this out. Before going back up, we had little reactions here, and some people might be guessing why is there a little reaction there. Some will be like, okay, probably is respecting the OB that is here, which is this. But then you draw it and you notice that it's only tapping into it little by little. Yes, it is tapping into it little by little. Because why? After this big reaction here, after this big move, this candle right here, let me take this, let me take it. After this big candle here, we had what? Liquidity. Forming a liquidity, a good hammer candle, or whatever you guys will actually call this. But forming a liquidity, notice this is created. What did it create? Take your time, pause the video, try to understand what it created. I'm still waiting. Alright, so it created VOI, which is what we call points. POI, which is called the points of interest. That was what the market created around it. I won't really spend enough time, or I won't really want to dive into explaining what point of interest is, but manage the time and just try to understand the game. So come along with me as I'm still explaining. Market created a POI. This can be created a POI, and guess what? The market expected it along a group with buy trend. Do you understand? Went back up for a bullish trend. Like I said, this this here and this here are highs of the previous day candlestick. So all these candles that are here are what happened in one day. This, as you can see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Do you understand? So it's how well you intend to understand the daily time frame first. Anything that can make you understand daily time frame, how it actually works, and trust me, you'll unlock a level of understanding in the trading community. Anything that can make you understand that this daily time frame is more important than other time frames. Other time frames are really important, no doubt, but this daily time frame is like one of the best and one of the most important part of trading that you need to understand. And if you can understand it, then I don't see what is holding you back in knowing or applying or failing. No, not failing actually, but actually making you succeed with your strategy. Do you understand? Now, before the market rallied back up, we had a high here, and guess what? The high was taken out by a week. Now, this is giving opportunities for sellers to take quick entry around this. You know, sellers will be happy. Sellers will be like, okay, fine, we are back in the market. Let's take a sell. You know, trying to take trade to hit back on this POI so that you know, because that's what they think. That's what sellers might feel. That's what sellers might be thinking. But you really need to pay attention to trades. If you don't pay attention to trades and the reactions of trade, you lose the market. You lose so much in the market. So you really need to pay full attention to the trades that you take. Now on the daily time frame, this occurred, which is what we call order block. Now most people do get order block wrong. I personally, I myself have actually gotten order block. I do get it wrong sometimes. But due to my level of understanding, I'm intending to understand, okay, this is really what order block is. If you notice, one, two, three, four, you know, looking like look at this. This is beautiful. Like taking it out of the body count. You should be expecting more of, oh, this train is going for a buy. This train is going for a buy. Yes, no doubt. Like 100% right. Yes, like what is blocking it here? Absolutely nothing like that. You don't be like, oh, this is crazy. Like this trade is actually going for a buy. But boom, the rejection happened. You'll be thinking, why the rejection? What's why? And then you come back and then you notice that before the trade went back up, there's actually a trade here. A sell happened, liquidity formed. What is this? OB, order block, order block. The market respected it without hesitation, without thinking twice, without having second thoughts that I could. go further. I have the chance to go further. At least it created one, two, created fair value gap. Like, what is stopping it from going further? But yet, the market chose to respect that OB sitting right there, and we respected it and gave us the rejection. Now, OB, this could be an OB. This candle as big as it is can be another block. But most of us won't really see it like that, because why? We also see it as okay, invalid fair value gap that is here, and what other people, someone wants to call a breaker. The only thing I don't really know how to define much is how to identify breakers. I've not really understand that part. Do you understand? But this is an invalid fair value gap. Let me draw that. So that's easy. And these are the tools I use in case those are the tools I use in my trading. IFVG happened. IFG, which means mean value, mean value, fair value gap, which means what? Invalid fair value gap. I wouldn't want that to be long because of the space. Do you understand? Invalid fair value gap created. I get that right into it. Going for long, going for short instead. So if we say we should draw a square, a rectangle, okay, you see it didn't really reach, or at least the invalid fair value gap reached. It's reached at least its peak. Like, okay, at least I reached this limit. Do you understand? So it's you actually paying full attention to it. Looking at this previous eye that has been swept, more like a swing eye. This is a swing eye. This can also be a swing eye. Before the swing eye, if you notice, reactions happen around here. That's because there's also another block here. Other block is crazy. Other block, like other block can be easily formed. It's just based on your patience. Do you understand? It's more identified if you can be patient enough to look at the market trend and follow the market trend. So as favor gaps. Do you understand? Just pay good attention, listen closely, watch patiently at the trade. Don't try to rush into it. Don't try to jump into any trade. Don't try to make quick profits from any trade, or else you end up losing and you end up blaming the setups and you end up blaming the market instead of blaming yourself, which will be definitely wrong. So, order block created. Let me use this order block C. Market respected it, give us a good sell, taking out this low. This order block was not respected. Market took it out. Now, market took it out with, if you look at this down close candle, it closed with a wick, which was making this low, like making the close not strong enough. And when it took it out with a full body candle, then this candle made up not going here again, except if market comes down, tap right into it and gives its own rejection, like this or like this or like this. Do you understand? I'm not sure you guys really understand what I'm saying. Look at this low. Let me take this. Look at this low. That market sloped. As you can look closely. This low was swept. This low was swept with what? A week. So not giving it that strong courage or that strong power to actually go or continue to sell. Instead, it went a little bit down and just rally back up. And rejections like this, you tend to see them, you tend to find them more on the 4 hour time frame or the 1 hour time frame. If you can look at it closely, you notice that the market was even reacting. I don't think I can actually go any further in downtrend. I think that's enough that I can go. It's time for me to go back up. Now that POI that we actually saw on the daily time frame, on the 4 hours time frame, it gave us another block. So trading is actually 100%, no, 90%, or let me just put it 90% of patience and concentration. Pay full attention, and 10% of risking. Whatever risk you want to risk, it's up to you. Okay? So markets closed, week closed, rally back up, created favorite gap, gave us a bullish trend, come back, tapping right into this order block, gave us a trend again. Before the trend created a POI, market tap right into it, gave us another trend again. The trend gave us candle swept high, previous high, previous days of highs, swept, closed with the week. Now, you guys will be wondering, oh, this was actually closed with the week, but yet went back up for the trend. That's why I said you need to pay full attention. Pay full attention. Pay full attention. Like concentrate on the chart. Be patient. Now, there's another block right here. Right? If we go back to our 4 hours time frame, you will notice there's a fair value gap here. As small as it is, created a fair value gap here. And you notice created a fair value gap here. Tapping right into it respectfully before going back to your trend. Before going back to your trend. Created multiple favor gap. A very good displacement. You know, it's just all about concentration. Because if you look back right into here, you notice there's also another block here. So it's giving that potential of I am valid for what I am doing and I am valid for where I'm going. Do you understand? I know most people will be like, reaction, but looking at this reaction, it's what else do you need for it to tell you that, oh, I'm going for a buy? What else? You don't really need too much to see before you can actually see that, okay, this market is still going to die. for this market is going to go for a ride. It's how well you pay good attention to the market. If you can pay very good attention, pay so much attention that you all you can just think of is just chat, 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 chat. Trust me, you'd really understand what you're doing. You're focused on what you're doing, you're locked in on what you're doing, then there's nothing holding you back from understanding the market move. Now we can also scroll back to the 1 hour time frame. In case if you're like, oh, I'm not satisfied with that reaction. Now look at it. Fair value gap seen, respected, because this candle, even despite the fact that it came aggressive, even despite the fact that it came aggressive, feeling like it's a top boss, it didn't close the fair value gap. It got tired, made a reaction. The next candle close to it, same reaction. Others were feeling like, okay, let's try to just have a little bit of fun, and they did, and boom, it closed there, saying I can't go any further. Now, what do we see here? Let me take the joint held. What do we see here? Take your time, pause the video, I'll wait. I'm still waiting. Okay, now what do we see here? We see another block. Because you guys will be like, why is this market reacting to this? What is happening here? My brother, my sister, I see another block sitting right here. Market reacting to it still and giving us that buy, that long that we want. Paying very good close attention to the market. Markets details everything. So back to the daily time frame. That happened. This eye was swept. Forgot to draw a trend line there. This eye was swept. Same thing that occurred here was the same thing that also occurred here. The only issue is to pay attention. What did we see here? We saw our other block here. What are we seeing here again? It's dedication. Okay? It's just give yourself that time to listen and to concentrate and to focus. Like nothing is chasing you, nothing is pursuing you. You don't need to rush success, or you don't need to rush to enter any trade. It's just how patient and how well understanding you are. Other block was same, 4 hours time frame. Fair value gap, even if it's not that much, at least it is still a fair value gap. As small as it is, still a fair value gap. Now, before the fair value gap, what happened? Trade came down, right? What is this again? OB, order block. But before the order block, what was it? Fair value gap. Market tapped right into it, came back down a little bit, closed, open, right? Now, yeah, fair value gap. What did it create to this distance? From okay, from here to here, what did it create to this distance? It's created an IFVG. Now, this can be order block. This is our order block, and this can also be our order block. But we only have to select one, which was this one, and we selected this one. And now imagine taking a trade on this. Just take this out. And imagine how much profit you have made so far. Your stop loss will be around here, proper risk management. Imagine how much trade you have won. Good amount of dips. You understand? So it's paying good attention, paying full attention to your trades. If you don't pay full attention to your trades, you end up losing in the market, and trust me, you'll be hating the market, you'll be thinking maybe trading is a scam, you have many things running up your mind, and you lack concentration. Meanwhile, instead of you doing that, you pay good attention, you lose from the trade, you back test, you watch a video, tutorial video, or any mentor video that you have, watch, back test, try and analyze, and always try every strategy or your setup on the demo account. Don't rush the process, nobody's chasing you. Okay? So now we are already close to my trade, hitting the stop loss, and also coming back down to where I expected it to come back to. So after this big move, FVG created, market respected, valued up. So valuing up, I entered this trade because I saw what I needed to see, which was the OB that I was actually looking at, which was this one. I was looking at this order block here. So I was already expecting the market to probably expect it. I had nothing else in mind. I was too, you know, and market was giving me the reaction. But mind you, I took this trade on Monday. I left it till Tuesday. Then I got stopped out at same Tuesday. And I noticed that the market was still coming back down on Wednesday. But on Wednesday, it skipped my mind that news was going to come up around 7 p.m. in the evening, 7 p.m. to 7:30, and news came up really strong, affected the USD. That means it affected any market trading under the USD, which could be Australian USD, the AUD USD, as you can see, the GBP USD, Euro USD, Euro 30, XAU USD, and so many other markets that are trading under the USD currency pair. So now the market rallied up, tapping right into our order block. Let's go to daily time frame. What is this? A sweet OB sitting right there. Looking at it today, time we are now. News, yes, news happened. This is what we call the sniper entry. After I think it give a reversal. Sniper entry. After hitting my stop loss on Tuesday, I wanted to check the trade, but at the beginning I had taken the trade, still taking the trade around here because that was my plan, trying to take the trade around here because I already saw my order block, and I noticed that the fair value gap was being respected, order block was being seen here. So I was so focused that okay, the market will at least react here before the news react downwards. But the news had other things in mind. The news was looking at this OB that I was not concentrating on. But luckily enough, I didn't take this trade and we analyzed it. And market after I went to the order block and gave us a reversal downwards. Sniper entry gave us a good rejection. And boom. So this day was Thursday. I didn't trade on AUD I traded on GBP USD. So while I was focusing on AUD and how the market actually worked, I noticed the same thing also happened on GBPSD. Order block C. Order block for C. Market tap right into it. Then snap an entry. Came back down. Fair value gap C. Order block C. Tap right into the order block. Came back down. And the 4 hours time frame needs to be more than that. 1 hour time frame needs to be more than that. Tap right into it. A few candles might want to react to the fair value gap, but none reacted to it. 4 hours time frame. Also none reacted to the fair value gap here because it has already reacted on. For it to react on the OB, it means it's already valid on the fair value gap. Do you understand? So market created at spot, and I noticed that after the rejection, when market failed, when market opened the next day, which was Thursday, as you can see, let me take all the trends off. Thursday, as you can see, then I noticed this. What is this? Again, whatever. 4 hours time frame. What do we have here? Fair value gap and order block. And I took this trade, and it was a sweet one. Notice market pipeline trades. I had my sniper entry because news was also planning on happening on, which was whatever, which was already on Friday. So I'm trying to go back to Thursday. So little news happened. I noticed the news was going to happen around 1. This high impact. Always look at the high impact. Ignore the low and the medium. Always look at the high impact. Those are the most important in trading. So the high impact happened. I noticed it. I saw it, and gave me the sniper entry. But before my sniper entry, it's actually respected the fair value gap seen on the daily time frame. And now it was seen on the daily time frame. What was seen on the daily time frame? Fair value gap. But on the 4 hours time frame, what was actually seen? On the 4 hours time frame, we saw our OB standing right there, standing like it's nothing, standing like, oh, I'm just another night hungry. No, it's another block. Tap right into it, came back up, saw our other block here too, gave me this snap entry, entered my trade, gave me that good sale. So for today's trade, which is Friday, this is what I am anticipating on. That okay, probably market should react to this, give us a short buy, a good buy rather. And why my take profit is there is because I'm seeing what am I seeing there? Please, I need someone to talk. Alright, I want you guys to talk. Seeing my baby here, sitting right there. Even despite the fact that I know that there's a fair value gap here, that's why I have this. I'm still definitely that okay, fine. Market will get to this point. Do you understand? So trading is about patience and it's about concentration. If you're focused, you can have the two, which is patience and concentration. But if you're not focused and you're distracted, it will be very difficult for you to understand. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your time. Stay safe, stay good. Good night.